Hello, everybody. Hi, thank you for joining in on my How Does Cybersecurity Work stream. Thank y'all for taking the time to stop by and check out this stream. This is going to be my final stream in the How Do Things Work track. It's kind of like an unofficial track. It's not usually like the typical tracks we do at Global Hack Weeks where it's like, oh, like they're explicitly a track. It's more of an implicit track, I guess. So super excited to finish off Global Hack Week strong and excited to get the chance to talk to y'all about cybersecurity and the different things that we can do. So I'm gonna paste the check-in link for this in the chat. And I want y'all to check in right now if you haven't done so already. We don't get anything for you checking in. It's all for you, like your benefit. We just want to make sure that y'all are getting counted for the time that you're spending with us here. So make sure you check in at that link if you haven't done so already. I'll keep it up for a little bit longer, but while I've got y'all here, how has Global Hack Week been so far? I know we just started day 5. You just had the stream with Quinn a couple minutes ago, not minutes ago, maybe a couple hours ago, and Quinn covered what we are like doing today. So hopefully y'all got the chance to check that out. And I've been wondering, like, how is everything going for y'all? How are you enjoying Global Hack Week? Is everything going good? Like, give me the vibes. What's going on in the chat? Let me know. But yeah, thanks for coming. This is going to be the intro to cybersecurity slash like how does cybersecurity work stream. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I will take down the banner, but I'm going to pin this comment just so y'all see it if you need it while I keep going. But I'm going to go ahead and move on. So if you don't know already, hi, I'm Varshini. I'm a coach at Major League Hacking. And a fun fact about me is I have a blahage. If you haven't seen my blahage already, this is my blahage. I think it's really funny that there's like a little circle because you can't see the glory of the blahage in the little circle, but this is my blahage. It's just like a really large, like life-sized blue shark from IKEA. And there's like it's really popular with MLH coaches, so I finally got my own blahage, which I'm super excited about. And now I show it off in every stream because I get the chance to like hold it and like get ready for the stream and like get the chance to like touch it, be like, okay, like powering myself up, rating myself up for this stream for the next 2 hours that you're going to spend with me. So yeah, that's me. Feel free to intro yourselves in the chat, like say where you're from, who you are, if you want to. But yeah, that's just my quick little intro. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So this is our general agenda for what we're going to be doing today, and well, in this stream. And I know it might look like a lot, but it's very, very digestible. Like it looks like a lot because I've broken it into like small chunks that are easy to understand. So this is just a broad, like general overview. You might notice the like capture the flag we got going on in the bottom. Hopefully you're interested in that, but that's going to be a really fun game that y'all will see soon. So get ready, get excited for that. So before we start like going into things, the link doesn't work. Is that not what I typed? Oh. Events. Oh, I put dot instead of slash. Hold on, let me get the link back. Wait. Am I playing around? Hold on. What is the actual link? I think it is this. Is that what you sent? Yes. Okay. So I screwed up. Sorry. I put a slash instead of a dot in the middle of events and MLH.io. So thank you for helping Donut Guitar. You are on top of it. Yes, that link does not work. If y'all weren't able to check in, please check in at the link that I have pinned now or the one that Donut Guitar sent earlier. Um, ooh, it is the first time you're hearing the word blahaj. So it's blahaj actually. It's Blahaj. So let me go back and show you the proper spelling. Um, I don't use it for anything. It's literally just like a big stuffed animal. That's all it is. I just thought it was fun because I get to show it off every stream. But yeah, it's just like I guess like a comfort stuffed animal. I don't know. It's just really fun to like cuddle with, and just to have in the background of my video calls. So, when I like do a video call, and somebody's like, "Oh, what is that in the background?" I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so glad you asked," and then I get to talk about my stuffed animal instead of whatever the call was about. So it's a great diversion technique. It's nothing like related to streams or anything. It's just something fun that I have. And also, before we dive into the stream, we're going to be using VS Code a lot today. So if you don't already have VS Code, make sure you get that downloaded. Let me pull up the download link for y'all. Um, Make sure you download VS Code. I know I've been using Google Colab a lot lately, but we are actually switching back to VS Code because we're going to be coding in some other languages and like JavaScript. And we want to make sure that we have capabilities and compatibility for all that. So we are switching back over to VS Code for today. So make sure you download that at this download link if you haven't already. It's going to be really important for today. You can use other code editors, but a lot of the I guess instructions that I have planned out for y'all today are based on if you have VS Code or not, because I'm not really familiar with that other code environments. But if that's the only code environment you have and you don't want to download something else, like no worries, I got you. We will figure it out. Yeah. Yay, glad to hear it works. Yeah, this is also another link if you want the longer version. Hello, hello. Charlie sleeping, I have chores to do. No, I'm not going to encourage you to do that. You should go to sleep and do your chores. You should do both of those. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've been saying this before, but in case you haven't seen my other streams, the slide deck isn't really like useful per se. It's just kind of like a visual indicator that I'm switching between slides. So like there's nothing on here that you need to be paying attention to. It's just like if I'm switching the slides, that means I'm switching the sections, and I'll just be talking. But don't worry, it's not going to be like a yapathon session between like you and me, well, all of you and me. It's going to be like a couple of like teaching. So I'll be like talking to y'all about some concepts and teaching y'all some things. But at the same time, I'm also going to be like ping ponging back and forth between teaching and doing like interactive live demos because that's like the whole purpose of me doing this is to get all to your demos. So hopefully that sounds interesting. But I'm going to just talk to you a little bit about like what cybersecurity is and just give you all a quick introduction. So if you don't know, cybersecurity is basically just how you protect systems, networks, and programs from digital attacks. So I know that like like MLH calls you like hackers and like, you know, you're like the global hacker community, but like obviously you're not actual hackers. Those are people that are like conducting digital attacks against systems. We call you hackers because you go to hackathons and so like hackers. But the actual like original term hackers came from people that were conducting digital attacks against different systems. So these types of attacks, like cyber attacks, are usually have like a couple of goals. Maybe it's to like steal sensitive information, so maybe like credit card information, like bank details, medical records. Maybe it's to disrupt or damage a service, so maybe like taking down a really important website or taking down something that like brings a lot of revenue in. And also it could be like to give unauthorized access to systems. So maybe you're trying to gain admin access to something but you're not supposed to have, and that could be an attack. So like I'm sure y'all have seen all the movies where they're like hacking into the system. That's an example of like somebody having unauthorized access to a system. Well, somebody getting unauthorized access to a system. So yeah, throughout this whole stream, I'm just going to be showing you like all these different types of attacks are going to link back to one of these types of attacks. And like cybersecurity is usually split up into like three different parts. It's like the CIA triad. If y'all are based in the US or know a little bit about the US or heard of the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, that's like the US's like MI6 for Britain. And it's just like the intelligence gathering agency. And the CIA triad is confidentiality, integrity, and availability. So that's the main purpose of cybersecurity, to keep secrets safe, which is confidentiality, make sure the data is accurate and remains uncorrupted, and that's integrity. And then availability is just making sure your data is where it's supposed to be, so like hackers don't take your data and like hide it somewhere. So yeah, I'm going to show you everything's going to link back to this. Um, as like data gets more and more advanced, and like more systems are created, there are a bunch of new threats that keep popping up and new ways to attack systems. So you've probably heard of like a bunch of terms, maybe like phishing, like email phishing scams, maybe like malware on your computer that you get from downloading movies from like suspicious sites. So let me talk a little bit about what each of these different types of threats are. And you've probably heard some of these before, so hopefully this is helping you maybe like add some context to some of these. So for example, malware is just malicious software, and that's just like you might have heard like Trojan horses, Trojan viruses, worms, anything like that, anything that like maliciously corrupts your software, that is malware. And then you've got ransomware. Ransomware is pretty scary because ransomware basically like somebody gains unauthorized system access to your system, locks down your files, and then demands like payment or something else. So that's what ransomware is, and it's basically the same thing as like holding somebody for ransom. Like you kidnap somebody, hold them for ransom. Like you're kidnapping your files and demanding payment. So similar thing. Um, do, do, do. The attacking hackers are actually called crackers. The original hacker community predates computers. Oh, interesting. If y'all are interested in what the original hackers were called, check out the link that 404 sent. That's interesting. Crackers? Hmm. Okay, that's odd. Yeah. So that's another, like ransomware is another type of attack. Then you've got phishing, and phishing tricks emails or messages that lure you. So phishing is like an email or a message that is sent to you that basically tricks you into giving away some sort of like confidential information. So like sometimes you'll see like if maybe you've seen the like Nigerian prince scam, that is a phishing email where they try to get you to like there's like a Nigerian prince that needs your help and just wants to donate money to you. And then they ask you for your bank details, and that's how they get you. So that's like an example of a phishing scam that y'all have probably heard of. Phishing for carbs. What is carbs? What are carbs? I feel like I've heard that word. Oh, it's just a type of fish. What is special about the carp? That looks like a big fish. Okay, cool. It's carpy. I don't know what that means. LOL. Okay. Moving past. The final type of like main attack is DDoS, which is the distributed denial of service. And basically what that means is any type of attack that is DDoS is flooding a system with requests until it crashes. So like you think about like sometimes you have systems where like sometimes you'll go on a website and then it'll like crash, right? Because there's too many people trying to get into it. So like if you've ever used ChatGPT and you've been on ChatGPT while it's like, oh, too many people, like servers overloaded. That is an example of a system being flooded with requests and then it crashes. But DDoS is a specific type of attack where you are intentionally flooding a system with requests so that it crashes. Like usually when the system crashes, because of like people requesting things, it's unintentional. Like people just want to have access to the app, and it's like not on purpose. But in this specific case, it would be like on purpose. You are flooding the system on purpose. Carps are special because they are carpy. Okay. Thank you for that insight, 404. You know what you should do? Your chores. So some of these different threats that I was talking about, they're not really like abstract. We can definitely think about how they happen in real life. Like a lot of these tools to do these attacks are very public and sometimes even free. So it's very scary. But I'm going to show y'all like a quick demo of like how it could be really easy to conduct a phishing scam and just how easy it is to go through cybersecurity attacks. I remember when we had Stack Overflow videos, we were authorized. Oh, that's crazy. So, wow. Was this like hosted via MLH? That feels like a security concern. I don't know. Yeah, go do your chores. You can just like put this stream on in your earbuds like as background music while you um do your chores, just like, so you can learn about cybersecurity while you're doing your chores. Oh, interesting, interesting. So like I was saying, we're going to do a quick little live demo about creating a fake login page. So this is purely for educational purposes, like little disclaimer. I'm going to make a fake login page and I'm going to put this like locally in my computer. I am not putting this on the internet, neither should you. This is just to show you how easy it is to do it. I don't have malicious intent and neither should you. So be careful. I'm going to make my folder. So if you haven't downloaded VS Code already, go ahead and download VS Code. You're gonna need it. I'm going to open up a new folder. So let me switch over to my VS Code and show y'all what that looks like. Oh shoot, I called my folder something not great. Let me rename that really quick. Just one second. I got really frustrated when I was trying out this code earlier yesterday, and I accidentally named this folder something that is not appropriate. So I'm gonna rename it. That's fine. Okay. Let me Let me show y'all VS Code. Where's VS Code? There you go. Okay. Oh, lots of these bit.ly links are used to hide malicious links which use IP addresses. What? No! I'm a sucker for bit.ly links. Like, I feel... No. This is so upsetting here. Honestly, I feel like my data is online. Like, it's game over at some point because I feel like I clicked on too many suspicious links throughout my life and I've used way too many bit.ly links. Thank you for telling me about that, Skudinger. I will be cautious about what bit.ly links I click on in the future. Yes, for sure. I will teach you how to do it and then preface it with the intent that you should not be doing it and hope that you don't do it. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go to my VS Code. So I'm gonna make a folder. I'm gonna show you all something super cool. So you don't have to make you don't have to click like file new. So you can actually just make it here. So you can do mkdir phishing demo, for example, and it'll make a new folder. So ready? And then you're gonna do cd phishing. There you go. Now it just made us a new phishing demo folder, which is super cool, I think. And it basically just directs into there. So that was cool, in my opinion. And we're going to make a new file. Here, I'm going to click new file. I'm going to do index.html. So this is going to be a little like web browser page that we're going to do. I don't even know anything about cybersecurity. I'm just pumped up at the moment. No, totally valid. I feel like this is one of the cooler streams I've done because like you feel like you're hacking, which you're not actually doing, but it feels cool. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that you're pumped up. Hopefully you remain pumped up throughout the stream. So yeah, go to VS Code, make a file. You can call it whatever you want, but I'm gonna call it index.html. If y'all haven't coded in in HTML before, the first line of every file is always this doc type HTML, just so that we can tell our system that we are coding in HTML, and that's the whole purpose of that. And then we're going to go ahead and have a tag. We're going to do HTML. And I usually go through my code like very basic level. So even if you know how to code in HTML, sorry, it's going to be a little bit more basic just for the people that don't know how to code in HTML. So for this, you can see I've got my HTML, and then this does the exact same thing, except there's a slash here, and that's because it's a closing tag. So with HTML, everything is written in these tags or angle bracelets, like I think ZZZ was saying if you're on the stream. ZZZ let me know that it's actually called angle bracelets sometimes, which is super cool. But I usually just call them tags, and every line of HTML code is enclosed within these tags, and then you've got closing tags as well. So in the HTML, we're going to have our head tag. And in our head tag, we're going to have our title tag. And this is going to be the title of the page. So we're going to call this secure login because what type of scam would say secure login? You know what I mean? Ooh, hello. This is the creator of angle bracelets, guys. So that's what her title is going to be. And then I'm going to like add some style to this within the head. The reason why I'm doing this is because I feel like when you try to make a scam, by the way, this is not in any intent to make you like think about creating a scam, but on the off chance you were going to, you would want it to be a little bit like fancy, to look like clean, like you wouldn't want it to look like weird. So we're gonna make it look a little fancy, and we're just gonna do like built-in styling here. Usually you'll like have a separate CSS file with the styling, but like for speed purposes, we're just gonna do it here. So here I'm gonna target the body text, and I'm going to say body, and within the body, actually I don't really care about that. I'm going to have my font family. I'm going to call my font family Arial. And then I'm going to do text dash line. And I want that to be in the center. Oh, actually, that's going to be a semicolon. That's also a semicolon. That's why there was an error. And then I'm going to do margin top, just so we have a little bit of space in our margin. Don't worry, I've tested all of this out. It does, in fact, look good. Promise. I'm going to do input. I'm going to do padding. I want 10px for padding to make there be like space on the side. Margin, I'm going to do 5px. Oh, don't want root code. Go away. Oh, I forgot I can't type 5. Oh, that's so frustrating. Okay. No. Bruh. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I hate this. I hate this. I hate this. Hi, Sajal Farouk. I stayed up late to watch this. Oh, thank you for staying up late. I'm sorry that this is not in the time zone that you are in, but I'm glad you stayed up late. Hopefully you enjoy this stream. Try to make it super interesting for y'all. But hello. So, and then we're gonna make our, oh, damn it. I need to change this room code. I like made the shortcut because it wasn't working when I was trying to open it for demos when I was coaching a hackathon, and I just got really mad and I just changed it to 5. And now every time I try to do 5, it just like it trolls me every time. It's so annoying. But anyways, padding 10px and 20px. So we're gonna have 2 different types of padding, and then we're gonna do background. We're gonna change the background to blue, and then we're gonna do color white. Border, I'm going to set the border to none. I don't want a border. That's the end of our style tag. So just a little bit of basic styling to make it look like more professional, more real. And after head, we're going to go back into the body. So we're going to start the body tag, and we're going to have H2 for a small heading. Not too small, but kind of small. And it's going to say login to your account with proper capitalization, so it looks super formal. And then we're going to add a form here, and we're going to have an input. And the first input, can you guess? It's going to be username. The type is going to be equals text, and we're going to have our placeholder be username before the user types anything. I'm just going to say username. Name. And we're going to do a break here so that it looks clean. I'm actually just going to copy this line because it's basically the same thing for the password. And here, its type is going to be password. The reason why it's password instead of text is because text just shows it. Nobody really cares about the username. But with password, it's hidden. coding in vanilla HTML. Nice. Yeah. This is very, very basic HTML. The whole purpose is to make it very beginner friendly, hence beginner week or beginners week. And yeah, it is easier, definitely for sure, to have like your own CSS and JavaScript and more like complicated languages, but just for now, just so that we can see. Basically, yeah, seems like a lot of people think that. Hopefully, if we have some more advanced people in the chat, y'all are just enjoying and watching along. This probably won't be like as useful to you as it would be to like beginners, but I'm pretty sure we've got a lot of beginners in chat, so I'm going to keep coding this way. I'm seeing some new people join. Hello, hello. If you haven't already, make sure you check in. Nice to see y'all here. So I'm gonna go back to my code, and yeah, we're gonna do placeholder, password, and we're gonna do another break, and I'm going to add in a button to say login, and I'm just gonna keep that there, plain button, form body HTML, and that's all I want. So I'm gonna click save. And usually you can double click on a file and open it up in your browser, but I'm a big proponent of this live server extension that I found recently when I was streaming. So if y'all don't have it already, go over to this little 4-grid button area, search up live server. It's going to be by Rithvik Day, and you're just going to click install here. You may have to restart VS Code. So if you do, just do that. Just go ahead, save your file, make sure, and then restart VS Code. Once you do, you'll see a little go live button here in the bottom right. So once you've done that, you can go ahead and click that button and it will run your code. So I think it's just cooler than having like opening your file locally. So I'm going to click go live and it's going to open it up, and let's take a look at our website. So hopefully y'all are also coding along with me. That's the whole point of this stream and Go Black Week in general. So hopefully you're coding along with me, and hopefully you see something similar to this. Feel free to customize your login page, but you can see it actually looks like pretty decent. It doesn't really look like too much of a scam. And I can type whatever the username, and then you can see the password. That's why we do type password, so that it automatically hides that information from you and you can't see what I'm doing. I click login, and boom, there you go. It's like a fake login. Obviously, it's not logging in anywhere, but the whole purpose of that was just to show you like how like easy it is to make a clean website, and like with the right branding, like if you put like legitimate branding on there, a lot of people wouldn't question it. So if I connected this like open form and like just basic HTML to a malicious script, it would be able to get usernames and passwords like almost instantly. So like the whole point of this demo was just to show that like phishing is often very low tech. Like think about the emails you receive. Like I feel like a lot of time when you get phishing emails, like if you're young and not like an old grandma or grandpa, it's quite obvious that it's a phishing email, because it's like, oh, like click on this link and you'll win a free iPad. And it's like, that's obviously phishing. But like it didn't take much effort for them to make that email. You don't have to be like a master hacker to do this stuff. You just have to be good at tricking people. And especially with the advent of like AI, like I could just ask AI to code me like a nice login page and it would be able to do it for me, because it doesn't know how to like distinguish intent. So it doesn't know that I'm creating it for the purpose of, tricking somebody. So even though we made something super basic, like it is really easy to make something more complicated and something that looks more fancy. So on that topic, if you're interested in like how we protect ourselves from this, and like because maybe this is like scaring some of you and you're like, oh my god, like it looks like it's easier to kind of fall victim to these hacks, always check the URL. A secure site has HTTPS and a domain that like matches the company exactly. So if it's google.com, it's not going to be like google123.com. And it also says HTTPS. Like if you look at your Twitch, if you look at your YouTube, it says HTTPS, it's secure. And yeah, make sure that you tell your loved ones that phishing is real. So I feel like a lot of older like grandparents don't really believe in it, and then when they get phished and they're like, ah, damn. So make sure that you're always aware of phishing. And phishing is like a type of attack which is like called social engineering. Social engineering is more like reliant upon trust and like social practices to trick you, versus like technical attacks. The difference between these two is like social attacks are more based on you trusting whoever's sending you this message or this email, and just having the social norm of like nobody would send you like a scam, right? And that's kind of social engineering compared to technical network attacks, which are more like you aren't doing anything, they're just attacking your network because you have a security vulnerability. And that's how attackers are able to find vulnerable systems. So here they're just like sending out a bunch of messages and emails into the void, hoping that like one of these users is vulnerable. But with technical attacks, people are actually able to see like which systems are genuinely vulnerable and which ones which ones they can attack. So yeah, not all cyber attacks require super complex code. Y'all saw it. It was super easy to do that. Can I actually get like a thumbs up or a smiley face or an emoji or just like an anything in the chat if any of y'all got that demo up and working and if you were able to see how easy it was to code that? Ooh, Skidinger says, like those Discord Nitro scams where scammers made believable login pages. Yeah, exactly. You know, I think I actually fell for one of these. Actually, really embarrassing. I was like 4 or 5 years ago. One of my friends DM'd me and he was like, "Hey, I got Discord Nitro. Like, you should click on this link and get Discord Nitro too." And this is like I was like, "Oh yeah, like I know him. Like, oh my god, he got Discord Nitro. He's always on Discord. Makes sense. Like, I'm just gonna click on it." I clicked on it and it was like this random sketchy login page, and it was like log into your Discord, like log in with your email, and I was like, oh my god, I'm getting scammed right now. They're getting my IP address right now. So it's very easy. Honestly, I feel like we put too much blame on grandparents. I feel like I've been putting too much blame on grandparents. I'm like, oh, it's like these old people, like they just don't know what they're doing. No, sometimes you do it too. I pretty sure all of my information is on the internet somewhere. Yay, glad to hear it works for doing a guitar. Batman. Okay. I am assuming that is your way of telling me that it works. Yay. Yay, Skits Twitch works for you too. Okay, yippee. Sounds like it works for a lot of people. Super glad to hear that. So we're gonna move on. But yeah, okay. So kind of back to the slides, transitioning into our second section, which is network security basics. Thank you all for following along to that demo, and hopefully you found it useful. But now we're going to talk about the basics of network security. So I want y'all to kind of take a second to understand how a network works if you don't already know how. You can kind of think of networking having like data connections, IP addresses, and ports. So your ports are basically just a number, like sometimes you do like port 5000, port 8080, and these are these are numbers that just identify a specific service on a device. So for example, port 80 is the HTTP web server door. Port 22 is like the SSH remote login door. So these are ports that identify different services running on your device. And that's why we have network security, because we don't want all of these ports open to everyone all the time, because some of these things are more secure than others, and we don't want everybody to be able to access it. So networks are just like basically the way that we connect everything. Each device is kind of its own hub, and each service the device runs is like a specific part within that device. And all these different network links connect everything. So yeah. One of the first lines of defense, like within a network, is going to be a firewall, which you might have heard of. Um, Firewalls are basically just like security guards that are stuck at every like entrance of like a big building, and these firewalls decide whether or not they let traffic in, and they decide this based on a set of rules that they have. So there's a lot of different firewalls, but like an example of a firewall would be like a packet filtering firewall. And what that is it checks basic information of all of the data that's coming in and out of that firewall, and it checks things like the source destination, well, the source IP, the destination IP, and the port. And it makes sure that these pieces of data are consistent before it lets data in. However, a firewall only works if it's configured correctly, which means that like we have to make sure that we are configuring our firewall properly. Otherwise, it's like if the port is open, there's not really much the firewall can do because the port is open. So we have to make sure that we are configuring the firewall properly. So I'm going to show you all something really quick. I'm going to show you like how like hackers are able to find open services. And I know I said at the beginning, like, oh, we're going to be doing a lot of demos, like a lot of live interactive activities. I think the right word was interactive activities compared to demos. We're not like demoing as much as we are like working on interactive activities. I'm like trying to go to VS Code as much as I can to keep y'all engaged, to keep you invested. And it's not going to be something that you can like put on GitHub or something because it's just like fake code to show you how, like a simulation of how something would work. So we're going to go back to our code. Let me show y'all. I'm trying to present back to my code. Okay. So we are going to use a tool called Nmap now. And Nmap is basically just short for network mapper. And this is a tool that is used by system admin and also, scarily enough, attackers to discover like different devices and services that are running on a network. So I'm going to run it like against my own machine to keep things safe. Like I'm not going to go scan for other machines because then I would be exposing that information. So I'm going to go ahead and show y'all what to do. You are going to install and then search for something. So you can just do it in the same file that you were doing before. So I'm just going to delete this, open up a new terminal, and I'm going to do brew install nmap. And this is like for homebrew. So let me actually won't that expose your IP? I don't think so. Wait, hold on. I don't think it will. Let me run that really quick. Hold on. I don't think it does. Let me double check. Let me run this on myself. Am I secretly doxing myself? Let me double check. I don't think so. I don't think it's exposing my IP. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna run it. It'll be fine. It's not opening. It's not running my IP. Yeah. Okay. Back to VS Code. Yeah, it's just gonna open a couple. It's gonna show like different port numbers that are running, and it's not gonna show like different IP addresses. So don't worry about that. Also, y'all aren't showing anything. It's me that's doing it. So yeah, don't worry about it. I don't think it's going to expose your IP. But we're going to go ahead and install Nmap. So let me double check how to install Nmap if you don't have Homebrew, because I don't think all of you have Nmap. Okay. Yeah. If you don't have Homebrew or Nmap already downloaded, here's a link to download Nmap, and it basically just helps you identify different devices and services that are running on your network, like I was mentioning before. So I'm going to just show you what that looks like. I'm not going to run the homebrew command because I've already done that, but I'm going to run the nmap command. Okay, so I'm going to do nmap, and I'm just going to scan my local host, so I'm not like actually scanning something that could expose anything. And you can see see what the port is, you see what the state is, and you see what the server is. So each of these lines is telling us a port number, whether or not it's open, and if the service that it's running is active. So for example, like you don't see it here, but if port 80 was open, that would mean that a web server was active. And obviously you're not able to see this because I'm scanning on the local host. And attackers are able to use tools like Nmap, which unfortunately, like the link you saw, is open source. They're able to use these tools to decide where to aim their attacks. So if they see like an SSH open on port 22, which I was saying is the open door earlier, they might try something like a brute force password attack. And similarly, they see like a database server exposed, they might try an SQL injection. So this is just a quick and easy way that you can see the different services that are running. Delete that now, but yeah, different ways that you can try and see different ways that hackers can gain access to your stuff. Thank you for your care and consideration and concern, ZZZ, but I did not expose my IP address there, thankfully. So, yeah, that is a quick way that hackers can gain access to your stuff quick. So hopefully y'all were able to see that and see how easy that was. But that is like an example of network scanning, and the best way to defend against that is to minimize your attack surface. So what that means is closing unnecessary ports. So these are like, if there's a port that you're not using, like you're not using the service, you should just turn it off, because otherwise you have a port that's open that is not being used. And same thing, like you should enable a firewall too. Firewalls are super important. That way you can block traffic except for when you are allowing that traffic. And yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can defend against network scanning, but those are just a couple. Always do the best way to be secure is to make sure that there's no you're not clicking on malicious links to let malware in. Yeah, those are a couple of ways that attackers can find openings within your network. And it's basically just like they don't know what they're looking for, but they're just like looking for anything to try to get their foot in the door. And once they do that, they can get the data. And if they do get in, so they're able to find a port that's open and they go through one of your ports, if the data is encrypted, then it's useless. Like even if they're able to get in, there's nothing they can do with it because the data is encrypted, so they don't really know what they're looking at. But obviously the data is not encrypted, then now they have access to all your data. So that's kind of like a segue into our next section, which is going to be encryption and data protection. So I'm sure y'all have heard of encryption, but if you haven't, encryption is super important and it's used everywhere. Encryption just hides all of your data behind a secure key, and it's really important. It's used everywhere. Your browser, for example, uses HTTPS, like I was talking about before, to secure connections. And if you've ever used a messaging app like WhatsApp or maybe Signal, there's always a notification with, at least in WhatsApp, there's a notification with each message that comes, and it's like, oh, this message is encrypted. You are sending an encrypted message. So that's a really good example of how encryption is used. Similar with password managers too. If y'all have used tools like maybe 1Password, or if you've used Google Passwords, your password managers, those are password managers, they store your credentials and they encrypt them when they store them too. So there's two main types of encryption. You've got symmetric encryption and asymmetric encryption. So with symmetric, it basically uses the same key for encryption and decryption, which is really fast, and it's really good for large data because that way you don't have to use different keys and you can just use the same key for both of them. With asymmetric encryption, you use a public key to encrypt your data and a private key to decrypt. And this is much slower than symmetric encryption, but it's really, really good in terms of security because it has a secure key exchange. You have a public key and a private key. So I'm going to show y'all a symmetric encryption in action, and it's going to be using AES 256. So y'all definitely heard of encryption before, but there's a lot of different types of encryption methods, and one of the most widely used algorithms is AES 26 or 256. And it's like some people say like ACE, like AES, ACE, but like I just say AES because like ACE sounds like ACE. But AES stands for Advanced Encryption Standard, and it's basically just like a very, very secure safe. Like think about hotel safes, and it like scrambles your data. It like scatters your data everywhere, and that way it looks like random pieces of data as opposed to having like your data explicitly written somewhere. Um, yeah, see, that's concerning. This is exactly what you should not do. So if y'all are doing this, do not do it. Don't listen to 404. You should put your passwords and encrypt them. Otherwise, you're going to get hacked. So 404 is about to get hacked very soon. Maybe by us, by the skills that we've gained by the end of this stream. So the basic process of encryption is basically you take plain text data, which is just like original information, your actual data, and you combine it with a secret key that nobody knows and like a vector. You run it through this like big mathematical process that outputs cybertext. And to read that text again, once it's been encrypted, you will reverse the process with the exact same key and vector. So without the exact key and vector that you used to encrypt that message, the message that you have is like completely meaningless. So we're going to do like a quick little I guess demo to show y'all how encryption kind of looks and how meaningless a encrypted message will be if you don't have the decryptable code. Yep, that's why we're called Major League Hacking. Cybersecurity was our original pursuit, and that's a total lie. I'm lying. Major League Hacking is for hackathons. That was a joke for legal purposes. So now we're going to go back to VS Code. Let me go back. We're back to VS Code, and I'm going to show you all how to encrypt and decrypt data locally. So I'm going to open up a terminal. You can keep your file where it is. We're going to make a new product folder. So I'm going to do mkdir, and I'm going to do crypto demo, and I'm going to cd into that to set that as my new section. And I'm going to do npm init and just say default for y. Perfect. That looks good. And I'm going to, I want the crypto module, but that's built into node.js. So we don't need an install. It's built in automatically, which is super cool. And we're going to make a new file in our crypto folder. We're going to click new file, and we're going to do encrypt crypt.js, new file. So in this file, we're going to have this big encryption algorithm. So feel free to code along with me. I'll be looking for emojis from y'all again and thumbs up to see if you've been able to code it. But we're going to start our code, and we're going to do a constant. We're going to call it constant crypto. I'm going to require crypto. Another constant, we're going to call it algorithm, and we're going to do AES 256. Damn it, I still can't do fives. I keep complaining about this on every stream that I'm doing, and I don't change it. Big problem. I will change this. 256 CBC. Okay. And then we're going to do constant, and we're going to make our key. So here, we're going to use crypto, and we're going to do crypto.random bytes, which is going to return to us a random number, like random bytes. So it's going to be 32 bytes, and that's a 256-bit key, so that we can have this like random key that nobody else knows. And we're going to do the exact same thing with our vector. So that's going to be our initialization vector that we use for our encryption. So we're going to have crypto, we're going to use random bytes again, and 16. And this is kind of how encryption like works in real life too. Like you're making your key, you're making your independent vector, but you're not like storing it somewhere public like a VS Code folder or like live streaming it, because obviously that's private information, but this is like fake anyways. And then you're going to do constant, and you're going to say data, and my data is going to be, this is a secret Feel free to put whatever you want in your data. That's just my data for now. Which keyboard / switches do you use? It has such a satisfying. You can hear my keyboard? Yikes. Oh, I didn't realize my mic was that loud. How loud am I to y'all? Oh no. Oh no. Maybe I need to start watching my streams. Can I even edit how loud my mic is? Oh, I can. Wait, am I too loud? Volume is good. Okay. Same question. Volume. The typing is relaxing. Okay. It's actually just my default Mac keyboard, guys. I'm sorry to disappoint you. Oh, you like the keyboard sounds? Okay. Damn. Yay. Yay. Okay, good. Good. Oh, wow. I'm really glad that the chat is super active because of my typing. I did not realize that. Is this ASMR? Am I creating ASMR? Wow. Okay, this is great. Yeah, it's just my default Mac. I think I have a MacBook Air. It's just my default keyboard. I don't have like a separate external keyboard that I use on my streams because it's just too much of a hassle, but glad to hear that you like it. I will keep typing. I'll add some more typing during my streams since it sounds like y'all really like it. People are gonna start sleeping to you typing. I am people. I should be sleeping. Guys, if you're tired, you should go to sleep. Please don't sleep to my typing. I want you to be typing with me. That's the whole goal. It's 2 a.m. here. Oh my gosh. I feel so bad. I feel like every stream I do, y'all are like, yeah, it's 2 a.m., it's 4 a.m., it's 3 a.m. Oh my gosh. Get some sleep after this. I don't think there is another stream for a while after this. Let me double check before I say something wrong. Oh, Type Racer is right after this. So if y'all are interested in Type Racer, you might want to stick around for that. I don't know who's running the Type Racer. Let me double check. Doo-doo-doo. Sorry, side tangent, because I'm curious who's running Type Racer. So I can tell y'all if you want to stay awake for that. Ooh, Cecilia and Iro are doing a combo and they are running the Type Racer mini event. So if y'all are interested in that, go ahead and check that out. Maybe stay up for that. And then after that, the next one is at 8. So or these are different time zones. Y'all are definitely different time zones. After at the tail end of this event, we have the Type Racer mini event, and then 3 hours after that, we have Create Your First Webpage Part 2. So MLH provides a beginner ASMR. Yeah, there you go. It's not just beginner global hack week for technical reasons, it's also for ASMR. So there you go. 2:30 here and I got to, oh man, it really sounds like you need to go to sleep and you should get some more rest. Global hack weeks are important, but the videos are also recorded so you can always watch them back later. Yesterday it was Bob Ross painting ASMR and today it's typing ASMR. Is this, wait, if any of y'all have seen my previous streams, does it always sound like this or is it just today that my keyboard is very loud? Let me know because I didn't do anything different, but Bob Ross ASMR was great. Oh, nice. I think it does. Oh, I feel bad I missed Bob Ross. No, it's okay. We always have Bob Ross at every Global Hack Weeks. Don't worry. All the streams are like this. Always, always. Oh my god, I didn't know my keyboard was so loud. Dog, I gotta go watch my YouTube videos now. As soon as this ends, I'm gonna go onto the live and be like, okay, how bad was the damage? Not sure about keyboard, but your voice is the same. Okay, good. Yay! Okay, good. Nice. Okay. I just didn't know it was that loud. Damn. I think it's because the streaming service MLH uses is just very mic sensitive, so it just picks up on everything. Plus my keyboard's really close to my mic, but okay. Good to know, good to know. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the code because I took a hella big tangent. Is the Bob Ross? No. Unfortunately, we don't stream the mini events. If you miss the mini event, it's just kind of go on. But we do run Bob Ross, I'm pretty sure, every Global Hack Week, so I would not worry too much. In just a month, it'll be back. Yeah, only on Discord. No, we've got other really fun mini events. I swear, like all of our coaches are really fun. Any other mini events, like we try really hard to make the mini events very exciting because they're supposed to be a break for y'all. So, join any of the mini events and you'll have a great time. We got a couple more mini events this Global Hack Week. We have Type Racer, which is today, and we have Tetris, which is tomorrow. So 2 mini events. You sleep during them. Okay, that's valid because I feel like you want to spend your time with education, but it's a really fun way to get to know your community members and to get to know your MLH coaches and your streamers. Yeah. Breaks or like excuses not to sleep. Oh. Okay, louder. Rest is important. Exactly. Rest is important. You should take that your own advice and go to sleep. But going back to the code, so we have our data, we have our secret message, feel free to call it whatever you want. And now we're going to make our encryptor part. So I'm going to say constant cipher equals crypto dot create cipher, and we've got our own function within the crypto library module. You can see here it's this like nice module. It has cryptogalic functionality for a lot of different cipher things. So we're going to create our independent vector, and I'm going to pass it algorithm key oof and IV, which is our independent vector, and I'm going to let encrypt horrible spelling equals cipher dot update, and I'm going to do data comma utf8 comma hex. So our cipher is in UTF and it's going to be in hex. No, do as you say and do as you do. You should do that. Yeah, all of you should sleep. If it's not my time, if you're not in a normal time zone, like it's 4 p.m. here for me, like I'm not gonna sleep. But like damn, y'all need to sleep. Take a rest. If you're talking about the people in the chat, these are regulars in the chat that usually show up every Global Hack Week. So they will probably be there next month too. But if you're talking about the streamers, I am here, and the coaches are usually here too. So we usually stream every Global Hack Week. So come hang out with us. Yes, Hacker Community is so chill and welcoming. Stop by for some more streams. That's what we are here for. You are completely lying. This is not 404's first GHW. This is their like 90,000th GHW. They will definitely be here next month though. Oh, first month at Emily. See, I feel like I'm more inclined to believe these two, Donut Guitar and ZZZ. Nice. So hopefully y'all enjoy this Global Hack Week and show up to the next one. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. So back to our code. Then we're going to do encrypted. We're going to make a new variable, encrypted, and we're going to do plus equals, like to add to our encrypted. We're going to cipher dot final, and we're going to make it a hex. And we're going to log things to the console so that we can see it. We're going to say original, and we're going to show what our original message was. Oh, I forgot my semicolons. Oh my god, I'm so used to coding in Python, and I forgot all the semicolons from JavaScript. Yikes. This is a really bad example. Oopsies. Go back. Okay. And then we're going to do console.log encrypted. Nice. Oh, wow. Lots of comments. Wow. Guys, I feel like this is a lie. Is this all of your first times? Bro, it's not that I don't believe you. Anybody go through the Discord chat history and you will see 404 in every single mini event, reacting to every single post. 404 has been to these streams. I've played these games before. Don't lie to me. Yeah, I know something you don't. Go through the Discord history and you'll see. Yay! See you next time. I will definitely no, don't take that as a sign to leave. We are not done. But yes, I will see you at next Global Hack Week. Hopefully I'm streaming. I feel like next month is gonna be busy for me. Because it's like September and I'm gonna be busy in September. But I will try to do like maybe 1 or 2 streams. But I think I did 7 this Global Hack Week and I did like 9 last or I did 8 last time. I feel like this is a lot. So I might tone down on the number of streams I do, but you will see me at Global Hack Week hopefully next month. Oh my god, your first time too? It is 404's twin, trust. Yeah, for sure. The exact same username? Totally. Yeah, you're right, Hamid. It's beginners week. We've got a lot of first timers here. I wonder if it's like y'all were beginners, so you joined because we were running beginners week, or I wonder if it was you were beginners, you didn't feel like you wanted to join any of the streams until you saw beginners week and you were like, let me join beginners. I don't know. I wonder what it is. Yeah, that's a lot. I have been, oh my god, I feel like I've just been doing too much. I will definitely be toning that down next month. I don't think I can do 7 once September starts up, so. Hello, hi Blue Basher. Ooh, I like your icon. What is that? It's like an emoji. Nice. How'd you create that? That's cool. Stop lying, bud. Stop lying. It's like 3 a.m. for you. Aren't you tired? So we've got our console logs, 10 out of 10, and now we're going to decrypt them, decrypt our encrypted code. So we're going to have a constant, we're going to call it a decipher, and we're going to use our same crypto module here, crypto, and we're going to do create decipher this time. And we're going to still pass in the same things. Remember how I was saying you need the exact same key and the exact same IV to decipher something. You can manually encrypt and decrypt something, but like just for the sake of time and also because it's super outdated to do that by yourself, we're going to use this built-in module. Do decipher.update, and we're going to pass in the same thing, encrypted, comma, hex, comma, UTF-8. Exact same messages here, except like we're switching the order, and also we are having data here instead of encrypted because we are passing in the encrypted message this time. Then we're going to do decrypted plus equals decipher dot final UTF bar 8. Damn, I keep forgetting the semicolons. I swear. Why isn't it giving me an error? Usually it gives me an error. I need to start coding in JavaScript again, clearly. I was an absolute beast this month. Actually, I was more of an absolute beast last month. I think I did 8 or 9. I think I did 8 streams last month, and those were all technical. That was actually that was horrible. I did 2 technical tracks, and I did 8 2-hour-long technical streams, and that was way too much. I did one at like 2 a.m. too, and that was like, oh my god, never doing that again. And this time I was more chill. I took 4 technical streams and 3 non-technical streams. Yeah, so I was an absolute beast more last month. I toned it down a little bit. I was like, yeah, beginner, that's my thing, even though hey, no, I mean, beginners are all ages. I feel like the best time to be a beginner is in college because then you can learn things and you can explore things as you go through college. So no, it's good that you're a beginner in college because you gain these skills, and then as you're progressing through college, you can use these skills to do better in your classes and build more projects. Yeah, I think most of the people in the MLH community are in university or high school or fresh out. They're trying to build some skills while they're in university. It's a great community to be in while you're in university. What are you building? If you're talking to me, we are building a quick little encryptor/decryptor to show y'all how encryption and decryption works. Yeah, lol. Okay, but see, most of my streams are at least all of the streams this Global Hack Week have been in my time zone. Last Global Hack Week, I don't agree. I was taking way too many in bad times for me. But I take enough rest. y'all are the ones up at 2 a.m. It's 4 p.m. for me. Like, this is waking hours for me. Y'all need rest. After this ends, go to sleep. Or go to sleep whenever. Like, you can watch this back on YouTube too. I'm in college. Nice. I just finished a few months back. Ooh, exactly. Never too late to learn new stuff. You can be like any age you want. Never too late to learn something new. Ooh, it's 5 p.m. for you. Doing a guitar. Where are you based out of? I feel like a lot of the people in the chat are based out of IST time, but 5 p.m. Where are you based out of? Okay, back to the code. Almost done. And we're going to end it off with a console.log, and we're going to say decrypted. Oh. And we're going to pass in our decrypted message. Oh, Canada. Oh my God. I love Canada. I went for a hackathon. I went to Hack the Six, and I got to go to Toronto, and that was great. I love downtown Toronto. It is so fun. Yes, exactly. It is never too late to learn new things. Glad everybody agrees. So that's the end of our code. Yay! Finally got through it. We're gonna I'm not save as. No! Okay. We're just gonna click save. There's our code. And we're gonna, let me put this in the corner. We're gonna do node encrypt.js. There you go. So there's our output. We see the original text. We see this like crazy long, like scrambled message. God knows what this means. And then we see the decrypted result again. So if we change just like one character in the key or the IV, the decryption will fail. And that's how sensitive the encryption is. So for example, let's change it. Let's try something else. Well, actually, the key is constant. But imagine in your heads, because I made it a constant and I don't want to go through all the work of changing that. Just imagine like if the key was off by 1 here, it's going to be the same because we just copied it from here. But if we change the key to another value and pass that in for the decipher, it just wouldn't work because it wouldn't be able to create a decipher since the key is different than what was used to encrypt the message in the first place. What? Who are you in real life? Donut Guitar, you volunteer to Hack the Six? Oh my God. Were you one of the volunteers? I was the MLH coach at Hack the Six. That is so cool. That is so cool. Who are you in real life? I'm so interested now. Oh my gosh. I met a couple of the volunteers. But yeah, so this is a quick example for y'all. Put a thumbs up, smiley face, emoji, yay, something in the chat if this worked for you. Let me know. I just want to see if it did work. In terms of working, it just means like you see the original, decrypted, and encrypted message. Ooh, tried to stretch and I think I pulled something. Okay. No, you weren't. You were not the hackathon swag. Unfortunately, you are not Hack the Six themed. Yay! Hopefully it worked. At the end of this week, are we supposed to submit a project or something? No, not really. There's a couple of challenges that we've got, so let me find that link for you. Here is the link to the challenges. Ha! I beat you. You thought you could do it, but I beat you. I'm going to put his link up anyways because it looks better. But this is the link to the challenges. So you don't have to submit a project in like the native sense. You just like, it's good to submit to these challenges so that you can get like more points and qualify for some more eligible swag. But there's no like formal project that you submit. It's not really like a hackathon. It's more just like we do a bunch of technical streams with you all. Hope that you gain these skills and build along with us. Some of these streams have projects that you build with them, but it's not necessary. Yeah. Yay, Skiz Twitch says it works. Oh, the code works. Yay. Okay, good. Great. Glad to see that it's working for most of y'all. Yeah, that's a quick way that we can check out the decryption, encryption, and the messages that we're going through. Yippee! So with real world encryption and real world data, encryption is just one part of what we do. We use like we don't just encrypt data, we also encrypt the data like while it's sitting, while it's like moving in between different like networks, different computers, different places. We like hash passwords when we store them. Like we don't just store passwords as plain text. We use different hashing algorithms. So that's super duper important. And with that, we're going to transition to the next section, which is common cyber threats and how they work. So, malware is a big cyber threat. And malware is basically just like short for malicious software. Malware, software. And it's any software that's created to like damage a system. Like I was saying earlier, so that would be like worms, Trojan horses, viruses, etc. Um, Spyware is like kind of examples of malware. So spyware captures your data like secretly. You don't know about it, but it gets it, right? So where encrypts your data and extorts you. Viruses and worms, they are both bad, but they replicate differently. Nope, this is just a wrong statement. Malware is to computers what pineapple is to pizza. Wrong. Wrong. Malware is bad for computers. Pineapple is delicious on pizza. So, would love to hear y'all's opinion because I know I had some pineapple on pizza supporters here yesterday. So, um, the way that malware works is it basically just spams a bunch of your stuff. So sometimes, like if you're looking at console logs while malware is running, it'll say like deleting files in 3, 2, 1, and then it just like deletes your files. So like actual malware would instead of saying delete the files, it would do like system calls that actually delete your files. So malware is very scary. It is really important to be careful of what you're downloading and make sure you don't have malware because malware can be very, very scary. Um, and then we have got phishing. So I talked about this a little bit before, but phishing is basically just tricking someone into giving away their secrets. These are secrets, passwords, credit card numbers, etc. You don't really need advanced tools to trick somebody. Like we saw, we made that super quick login page for phishing. It's really easy to do it. 1 second, I'm gonna go turn my fan on. Sorry, it's just so hot in here, and I was like, ugh, I'm just gonna turn the fan. I was gonna wait until the stream was over, but I was like, why am I doing all that? I'm just gonna turn the fan on. Yeah, so there's phishing. There's a couple different types of phishing. There's like email phishing, like you saw. It just leads you to a realistic, like fake login page. It redirects you. There's like social engineering, which, like I was talking about, phone and in-person like manipulation. Basically, just manipulating you using like social tactics to try to get your information. And yeah, there's super easy ways to get phishing attempts. Like it's quite scary. So be very careful when you look through your email because that's how they get you. And there's also something called like man in the middle attacks. And that is when an attacker is like positioning themselves between like two parties that are communicating, for example. So maybe between your communicator or between your computer and your website. And they either intercept or alter the information that these two different types of people are exchanging without either of them knowing. And it's super scary because they can change your information without you knowing. And that can be done in a lot of different ways, like packet sniffing or maybe exploiting unencrypted HTTP traffic, a lot of different ways. Packet sniffing is basically just like eavesdropping on a conversation. Attackers will capture network packets, which are sent across when you use networks, and they'll use this to read really, really important information, like maybe sensitive, secure information. And that's really dangerous on like unsecured Wi-Fi because then they can just get everything that you're doing if the Wi-Fi is not secure. And I talked about this earlier, like the difference between HTTP and HTTPS. So with HTTP, you're sending data in plain text, which makes it easier for anyone that's intercepting packets to read what you're sending. But HTTPS encrypts traffic. So even if this is intercepted, the data looks just like complete gibberish, unclear, unintelligible without the encryption keys. And that's why you always want to make sure that when you're like clicking on a URL, you have that like lock icon because that shows HTTPS. And so I kind of wanted to show y'all like how easy it is to analyze like an issue with network traffic. So we're gonna download Wireshark. So let me pull up that download link. If you don't want to download it onto your computer, like you don't have to, because I'm gonna show y'all exactly what the demo is. But like if you want to follow along, if you're like tired and you want something to do, damn it, he got to it before me. Damn it. Okay. You don't even know what I was gonna do. Okay, that's fine. I'm not even gonna say what links I'm copying and pasting anymore. I'm just gonna paste them in the chat so you don't know what I'm doing. But yes, that's the link to download Wireshark. Like I was mentioning, we don't have to download them if we don't want to. You don't have to download them if you don't want to, because I'm just going to be showing you. It's not 10 to 404. It's actually 11. Be correct, actually, because I sent this earlier than 404 sent this. So it's actually 11. So don't play. I knew Wireshark was going to come up soon enough when you started talking about packets and I had it up and ready. What? Damn. I can't be predictable like this. I gotta like... I'm going to restructure all my demos right now, just so you don't know. What is that emoji? Yeah, it's 1-to-1. Victory is mine. So yeah, if you don't have it already, download. Let me get that link back up, actually. If you don't have it already, get the download link up for Wireshark. It is just like a network packing. It's a way that we can look through different like free and open source network protocols. And it just basically allows whoever downloads Wireshark to look and capture network traffic. And it gives you like really detailed pieces of information about network packets. And I think it's super cool. So we're going to try it out. Yeah, he predicted the future. Wireshark is very synonymous with talking about packets. He just knows his cybersecurity. Bureau's already in the future sending messages in the past. Don't give him too much credit. He's going to let this go to his head and then he's going to be insufferable. So be careful. So we're going to open up Wireshark. If when you're downloading it, it's like asking like, can this have administrative privileges? Say yes, because Wireshark needs administrative privileges so that it can capture network packets. Yikes. That is an unfortunate thing to say about yourself, dog. Self-reflect. So we're going to open up Wireshark, and I will show y'all what that looks like if you don't want to download it. Totally no worries at all. Okay. Okay. Here is my Wireshark. We're gonna go to Wireshark. Let me move it over. Okay. It's literally just a shark icon. Guys, crazy thing. Wireshark, Blahaj. Look at my Blahaj shark. This is basically a Wireshark. It's like the same thing. I predicted the future. So we're going to go to Wireshark. We're going to open it up. So you'll see a bunch of different network interfaces. Like you'll see Wi-Fi and a couple of these other ones. So I'm going to click on Wi-Fi because that's what I use to connect to the internet. And you'll see like a bunch of stuff, a bunch of things going through. And you can start capturing packets. So you're going to click on this blue. Oh, it's not blue right now. Or you're just going to click on the icon. And, oh, sorry, it's already capturing the packets. I lied. And to focus on unencrypted web traffic, you are going to click on HTTP. And I'm going to do that, HTTP. HTTP. And this is how I'm going to focus on unencrypted web traffic. That's like the filter bar that I just typed it in, and it's only going to filter and display HTTP packets. So I'm going to open up my browser, and I'm going to visit a command that still uses HTTP. Wire Blahaj. Yes, there you go. I like it. So Wireshark, it's Wire Blahaj. I have always had a Blahaj. you just haven't been to the beginning of my streams, because at every like beginning of stream, I'm like, oh, LOL, I have a blahaj. That's my fun fact. You just don't come to the beginnings. Tisk tisk. So we are going to be capturing our HTTP network packets. So I'm going to go to this website. This is like a fun website that I found when I was like planning out this stream. Okay. I don't really know like what this was meant to be. Okay. So this is never SSL. This is the website for when you try to open these things on a Wi-Fi network. It doesn't work. Use SSL. There's no encryption. There's like nothing. Bad internet security. But this is just a normal HTTPS or HTTP website. So we're gonna use that, and we're gonna switch back to Wireshark, and you can see that the packets have appeared. Well, you can't see anything because I stopped screen sharing. So let me fix that. Okay, back to Wireshark. So you can see that there's some new packets that have expanded, that have appeared, that our Wireshark has captured. So we're going to click, like, for example, on this HTTP packet. And you see it's this protocol HTTP. And we're going to expand the hypertext transfer protocol section. So it's actually creepy. You can see all of the different like headers, and you can see the different like payloads, which means like it can expose like usernames, passwords, and other data, and it's just in plain text. Like you can see all of this, which is super duper creepy. On the other hand, if we try doing HTTPS, it doesn't even work because the packets are encrypted, and Wireshark shows the data as TLS packets without readable content. So on this, like, it's really, really important to emphasize that encrypted HTTP traffic is vulnerable to man-in-the-middle attacks, because like anyone can intercept these packets, read and modify this data. But when you have HTTPS, that protects against this specific risk because we encrypt the data end to end. Ooh, I see some comments. Commercial breaks. Oh, no. Well, then you should just join the streams early, because I never start at exactly the time. Maybe you should start joining streams early. That's such a cool. Yay. Okay. Yeah. It's a cool website. I like it. It's very fun. I like that they're like chill. They're just very calm. And I think the follow redirects to an X link. So interesting. But yeah, this demo just kind of shows why it's really important to always use HTTPS and be really careful on networks that you don't know, because man-in-the-middle attacks are very, very easy to do and very difficult to detect. So be very careful. And then I guess like the DDoS attack I was talking about earlier, this is basically just when an attacker like overwhelms the server just with a bunch of requests, lots of traffic from like a billion different sources. And the goal of these attacks is to exhaust the server's resources. So like just like completely decrease the bandwidth, CPU, or memory of the server so that the server can't respond to like actual users. Now it's just responding to this fake user like forever. And these DDoS attacks can cause websites to crash or just like be really slow, and it can like ruin the reputation / revenue of the website. Yeah, so it's really important to know how these attacks work. But again, ethicality, make sure you're not launching any of these attacks. That's one type of attack. And then there's also SQL injection. So this is like one of the oldest types of cyber threats and one of the most dangerous. And this is when a person is going to insert like malicious, bad SQL code into input fields, like username, password, and they're going to be directly used in database queries. And since the app is going to treat whatever input that the person puts in as code, the like hacker / attacker is able to trick the database into revealing data, which is really bad because it can bypass authentication and reveal passwords, delete records. Like, it's scary. I guess like for a real world example of this, if you have a login form and the username and password you can get from just like a simple SQL query, then like the attacker can manipulate it, get the password and username, and it's like quite scary. So let me double check what I was going to do. Yeah, so there's a lot of different options for how to go through SQL injections. You would be able to like type in code, like program language to put it into that query, and that would cause like a big problem. So, hello, Asepoloni. No worries. Thank you for joining. There will be a recording of this on YouTube. If you just like check out MLH's YouTube page, and you check out the live section right here at this link. It will, all the videos from the live are recorded there. Actually, you can see like me. Oh my God. Oh, I don't like seeing my face like that. That was scary. Never mind. But yeah, you can see uh, the recorded video on YouTube. You can watch it live for now, and if something doesn't make sense, you can backtrack and go back. Yeah, of course, of course. Thank you for joining, though. Yeah, going back to like the common cyber threats. We're done with Wireshark. Yeah, there's a lot of different types of malicious input, and with malicious input, you can have attackers logging in without knowing any real username or password. They're just like basically phishing for it, and it's quite scary. So if we want to protect against an attack like SQL injection, you want to use something called parameterized queries or prepared statements. And basically what this means is you're just never putting user input directly into your SQL strings. Instead, you want to pass it as a parameter so that the database treats your parameter as data, not as code. Because if it treats it as code, then that opens up a host of problems for your attackers to start using code to try to like inject into your database. So yeah, we like transitioning to the next section. Before we like talk about how to fix SQL injections, like with like an SQL injection scenario, you would have an app that would directly insert user input into an SQL query. And that's a problem because if you don't have filtering or parameterization, then you will allow attackers to manipulate your query logic and just like go past any form authentication that you have, which is really, really bad. Yeah, for sure. For sure. So yeah. Sorry, I'm like getting distracted. Yeah, always make sure that you are going through your inputs and parameterizing them and passing them in as data as opposed to code. The most effective fix, like I was saying, is like prepared statements, parameterized queries, and making sure that we pass our input in as data, not as code. So you can also do input validation. So you can check your inputs against like different formats that you expect your input to be. So you might do this sometimes with like login information for different accounts. If it's like if it says like your username should be less than 20 characters, that's an example of input validation. So you are double checking to make sure that your username like follows these restrictions, and like goes through different validation requests, just so that you can make sure that it is the correct input that you have. Also, same thing with like allowed characters. Like maybe you have an like a SQL keyword in there. Maybe your system doesn't allow it. So that's like another way. Like you might have seen this with like sometimes it doesn't let you type in certain symbols, like an exclamation point or something, into your password, because that's a way to like get through with SQL injection. So that's another way. Um, yeah. Okay. Y'all know the different authentication rules. Just make sure you're never storing your passwords in plain text. HTTPS, kind of just what we talked about before. Um, and we can also talk about like incident response and monitoring that too. So even with like basically up till now, what I've been talking about is like how to have like really strong defenses and how to make sure that you're secure. But I feel like there's always like a way for things to go wrong. Breaches can happen. That's like not really something that you can control. You can try like being as secure as you want, but sometimes things will happen anyways. So if that does happen to you, incident response is really important, and that's how it's about how quickly and effectively you can detect and recover from attacks. So there's like sometimes like in big technology companies, or actually in a lot of companies, they will just have like an incident response team. That's their whole job, just to prepare for breaches and to help control if things do happen. So it's kind of like a fire drill. You want to be able to detect a breach or like a fire quickly, respond and minimize whatever damage. So like building damage if it's a fire, and like security damage if it's a attack. Um, yeah, so you should always maintain incident response. It helps you keep your system safe even after an attack starts. So there's a lot of different stages with an incident response. It's just like, preparing for that, detecting it, analyzing how bad the problem is, containing it, recovering the systems, and like post incident learning. So, like, after a problem happens, learning from like what that problem is. Um, and on that thread, there's also like logs that attackers will leave behind. That's why a lot of systems will automatically create like audit logs, and trails. And that is because it's really important to be able to go through logs after an attack has happened, because attackers will always leave like little breadcrumbs of what they did and where they did it. And monitoring the logs in this way is really critical, because that way you can see what the attacker did when they did it, and see problems that way. So, uh, that was the last major section of like yapping at you. Now we're gonna have a fun little challenge, to put all of the learning that we have done so far into use. Get ready for a capture the flag challenge. This is like a small challenge. If you've done cybersecurity before, like capture the flag challenges are usually very big and like very difficult, but I've toned it down for this, to make it a little bit easier and to make it more beginner friendly. Yay! CTFS, Capture the Flag Challenge. Woohoo! Yes, so that's what we're going to be doing. Let me close my Wireshark so I can do this. Yay! So we are going to be working with Node.js code. It's going to be running entirely on our computer. We don't need any tools. We're going to have some vulnerable code. I'm going to show y'all like how we can exploit it, and you're going to help me fix that code. I like know how to fix it, but I want to see if y'all do. So we're going to work through that together. Let's get started. So, I don't know I'm yawning so much. Capture the Flag is basically a like very hands-on cybersecurity challenge that is pretty popular worldwide, and it's basically where you find security flaws within a code, within like a code database, pieces of code, or systems. You exploit them and like try to get information from them, and then after you've exploited them, you fix them. And today we're gonna do like a mini one right on our local machines. So if y'all have not done it before, I would recommend you follow along with me. If you haven't followed along for any of my other pieces of coding today, please follow along for this one. This is going to be like super important, and I think it's super fun too. So I'm going to build a vulnerable app in Node.js with y'all, like live right now. We're going to find an authentication bypass, exploit it, and then we're going to patch it. So that's the whole point. You get like a piece of information by taking advantage of that gap in security, and then you fix it. So 404 is wrong. That is not how you fix it. Nice try, though. Man, I think I need like cat feed or something. I've yawned like 5 times in the past, like God knows how long. Okay, so we are going to make a new folder. I'm gonna call this capture the flag CTF. Okay. Let me show y'all. Yeah, don't worry, Donut Guitar. I really appreciate the concern. You are 10 out of 10, but I am switching over now. I just wanted to make that folder before I shared. But thank you for double checking. Oh god, that was really scary. Sorry, guys. Here's my VS code. Yay! I called it CTF. I just did my mictor and my CERD to make a new folder within this big cybersecurity stream folder that I've got. And I'm going to start coding. So I'm going to make a new file. I'm going to call this server.js. New file, server.js. Where? Oh my god. I've got too many tabs open. Yikes. I wish there was a way to like push out the chat like in a mini view so I could see it when I VS code, but I just have to keep switching back and forth between tabs. That's fine. So I'm making a constant. I'm gonna call it express and require the express module. And then I'm gonna do constant body parser. This is gonna parse through the body of my text. Require body parser. Parser. Const app equals express. Call my express app that I made earlier. Well, I'm gonna make that app on port, and I'm gonna set my port to 3000. Oh my god, not the semicolons again. I don't know why it doesn't give me an error. I feel like it should. I thought you needed semicolons at the end of every JavaScript statement. I don't know why it's not yelling at me. The only feeling Express makes me want to express is frustration of bugs. Yeah, Express is pretty like janky, pretty buggy, but we are going to use it anyways because that was the best thing I could find for this demo. So we're just going to use it. It's going to be okay. I promise this code works. I tried it before. Then we're going to do constant, and we're going to make a database of our users. So we're going to say const users equals, we're going to make a database here, and I'm going to say username. I'll set this to admin, and we'll set our password to, obviously, this is not real. That's why I'm showing you the username and password. You can't log in anything. This is fake. Had to put that disclaimer out there just in case any of y'all try logging into something. This is not real. Just like a basic username and password combo. If y'all have anything more unique, please feel free to use that. But this is all I'm going to do for now. Okay. And then I'm going to do app.use body parser URL encoded. Do extended, set that to false. And now I'm going to make a vulnerable login route. So be ready. This is going to be a big flaw. That was not okay. I'm done. Have my request, have my response. Constant username, comma password. I have my semicolon, and here I'm going to do if username So this will prepare us, set us up for something that you will see soon. And now we're going to go through our constant. We're going to make one more. It's constant, and we're going to say constant user users.find. Say u equal arrow. I'm going to say if the user here, if the user exists, we're going to send them a welcome. I'll say, oh, no, we want that. I say welcome, admin, and, oh no, sorry. Nope, that was the message above. We're going to do, still our welcome, but we're going to pass in this field, user.username. So we'll welcome them based on their username. We'll tell them that the login failed if it's not the user, and we'll put a semicolon. We're ending that there. And here we're going to get our admin page. So we're going to do slash, we're going to do admin, comma, and I want to end that there. Request, response, we've got our arrow. And we'll tell them, welcome to the admin page. Sorry, y'all. I know this is taking like a bit, but I wanted to do this live so you can like see how easy it is to do this. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing going on wrong there. That looks pretty legit to me. I don't know. Yeah, admin panel, and then we're gonna go else. res.status, and we'll send them a status. So 404, this is for you. Very similar to you, your twin cousin over here, 403. I think you should change your name to 403. I think it's funnier to be forbidden instead of not found. App.listen, and then we're going to do port, comma, parentheses, equal arrow, Screwed that up. Console, we're gonna log a message to the console. Almost done here, guys. In the final stretch, add your back quote. Vulnerable app listening. Okay, actually, that's doing too much. So the app is at. And we're going to include that port that we included earlier. Okay. I'm not forbidden. Yeah, but you could be. I think that would be funnier. I'll be 401 unauthorized. Yeah, but forbidden is funnier than unauthorized, in my opinion. Yeah, so this is our code. So I know that was a lot, but we're just going to run that. So we're going to go ahead, save that. We're going to go to our terminal, and we're going to do npm init y Boom. Got that for us. And then we're going to do npm install express body parser so that we can parse through the message. It's going to install that. Boom, install that for us. And now we're going to do node server.js. Okay, so this message is a console log. It's just telling us that the app is running at this local host, which is good. So now, yikes, we are going to open up a new terminal. If you're in VS Code, I'll show you how to do it. If not, open up a new terminal and make sure you are in Bash. So we're going to click on this little arrow here, and I'm going to click Bash. Open up a new Bash for us. And I'm going to type a command here. So this is a normal login that should succeed. So I'm going to do curl-x post d, and I'm going to do username equals user. So this is like simulating if we were in an actual login. Obviously, you could do like build out an HTML page and like get the input and pass the input, but that is too much work, in my opinion, to do for a very short stream, which we are running out of time for. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this since we don't have that much time. We're going to do that, and boom, it says welcome user. Yay! Also, it says this other stuff, but that's just like my location. So that works. That's a normal login. That gave us our username and the password that we entered earlier. But then sounds like some elder deity who won't let me eat pizza. What? That is such a weird extrapolation of the word forbidden, dog. I don't know how you're getting there, but okay. And now we're going to try an attack. So this is like us actually hacking, guys. Be aware. So we're going to send a malicious username that tries to bypass our login. So we're going to do curl-x post-d. And here for our username, we're going to set our username equal to just a single quote. Or we're going to try 1 equals 1 and where's the and? And password equals anything. And HTTP. Oh no, I messed it up. Can I delete it? Damn it. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I'll fix it. Equals 1, and password equals anything. Double quotes, HTTP localhost 2000 login. No! Okay. I think I should have done a space, I think. You forgot to say for educational purposes. Okay. This is only for educational purposes. Do not hack computers or anything else for any other matter for anything other than educational purposes. I am just teaching you. Please do not do this externally for something else. Otherwise, I will get fired. So don't do that. You spelled use. Oh, man. This is why I love when you attend my streams on a guitar. You know what's up. You know what's up. You know how to fix the problems that I do. 10 out of 10. Let me go back and fix that. Oopsies. I swear I should just start like copying and pasting the commands from somewhere. Okay. Yay. So we got in. It says welcome admin. So here's the problem. What if it's not though? It is for educational purposes, 404. Put that away. What's going on? Okay. Let me ignore everything, all this gibberish that you see in the type error. That's because I didn't type in username properly. But basically here, this is an attack that we just did here. We sent a malicious username. So like here, we can see earlier, we actually sent the legitimate username. So here, why don't I actually just redo this because this terminal looks really nasty, and I'll just get the commands from where I had them earlier. Okay, so this will work. It says welcome user because this is our username and our password. We had our username set as user and our password set as user pass. So that works. That's perfectly fine. And now we're going to go through an attack. And this is an attack where we pass in an injection. Oh. Okay, ignore that. You saw it working in the previous one. I don't feel like debugging right now. But yeah, there's probably something wrong that I did. Basically, we are sending a malicious username using this text, and we bypass the login. So let me put it down here so you can see. This is the command. And the reason why this works is because we are putting in a username. We're saying like it's equal to nothing or 1 equals 1. So we're using this logic here. So we don't know what the username is, but we're saying 1 equals 1. And since that's always true, it's going to return, it's going to give us access to the system. So our simulated query is vulnerable since the input, like single quote or 1 equals 1, tricks the logic and bypasses the authentication there. Similarly, we can also try our weak admin page. So we can do curl http localhost, and hopefully y'all are trying along with me and seeing how you can hack into your own system that you just built. But yeah, this is our admin page. Let me in. And there you go. Now we have access to the admin panel, even though like we might not have had that before. Hack Pizza Hut's account and ask for a lifetime. Nope. We are not doing that. Put that away. Who said that? Not me. So this is the admin panel. We're gonna say, welcome to the admin panel. Anyone can guess this like secret URL. So now they have access to the admin panel. So let's actually fix that. So this is just like a quick way of like, these are security issues that you can have because it allows code like I was talking about earlier. So we have to change it. Let's do that right now. Go ahead and just complete that. So we're going to change our app.post. We've got this. We can keep this as normal, keep this. And instead of having this login check, we're just going to delete this completely. That was like something that I included to get through the system. But everything else will work. That's fine. And then for the admin page for this area, we are just going to we're not going to, like, this is the requested query. So like a specific admin URL page. So we're just not even going to have that anymore. We're just going to say the res status, like the response status is just going to be 403, send forbidden. I'm going to tell them like, bro, authenticate properly. Now let's try that again. So we're going to save this file. We're going to delete our bash, and we're going to Control-C here so it stops running. And now we're going to do node server.js, run it again. Okay, I'm missing a parenthesis somewhere. Where is it? Oh, okay. Let's save it. And now I'm going to try it again, node server.js. There you go. It's running. I'm going to open up another bash. And this time I'm going to try that malicious input again, my curl-x post -d username equals single quote or 1 equal 1 and password equal anything. And boom, it says login failed. So that same exact query that we use fails now because we removed that admin access, and we also removed the access to passing in as an SQL. Pizza sucks. Damn. Domino's is good. There's an extra. Yeah. See, Donut Guitar, you know how to debug my code. Yeah. You told me this last time. I appreciate it, but I think I like messed up the previous command, so I couldn't do that in this case, but thank you. I appreciate that. So yeah, now you can see the injection no longer works. And yeah, that's just a really cool way. This was like a mini capture the flag. Like usually like you try to find the error yourself and delete it, but like obviously I made it very obvious this time. And this was more like an interactive code with me, fix the capture the flag, like fix the flag with me IRL. And yeah, this mini CTF just like it shows us common mistakes that like unsafe like input handling and problems can happen really easily. So this is a really important way that we can focus on. I just got a ping in Discord. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, so that is like the main like CTF challenge that we did. Hopefully that makes sense for y'all. And hopefully that CTF challenge was like a little bit fun. We found the error, we fixed the error, and we made sure that like nobody ever goes through that error. Not like again, but just like in general. So let me, I swear I need to like pin this somewhere. Oh no, I think I did pin it after the end of last stream. Aha, there you go. So this is the end of our stream. We are donezo. The CTF challenge was like the kind of last final part of like cybersecurity. So thank y'all so much for tuning in and hanging out with me. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I'm really hoping you did. Hopefully it was fun getting to like interact and try different cybersecurity challenges and like hack into different things. But please fill out this feedback form whenever you get the time. This is really integral to like my feedback, so I can see if y'all liked my stream, if you didn't like my stream, and so that we can all see how to fix streams in the future. So if you liked the stream, enjoyed the stream, didn't like the stream, whatever, please put it in the feedback link, and we will be able to build upon your feedback. And same thing with like general Global Hack Week feedback too. If you have any feedback for Global Hack Week, let us know and put that in the forum. But on that topic, on Global Hack Week's topic, let me send y'all the link for. Actually, there is no link. The next event after this is going to be the Type Racer mini event that is happening in 3 minutes. So head on over there if you're interested in that. I put the link to that in the chat to register for that. Ooh, W stream. Yay! Yay. I'm glad it was fun. Super glad that you enjoyed it. Thank you for coming. Yay! I'm glad that it was interactive and beginner friendly. God. That is the whole reason I run these streams. I'm really glad it was interactive. I tried putting as many code demos as I could in here. So really glad y'all enjoyed it. I'm gonna hang around for a couple more minutes if anybody has any questions. But if you don't have any questions, feel free to log off, go sleep, enjoy the rest of your day, or just hang out until I end the stream. So thank y'all so much for your time. I'll see you at the next one. Fill out the feedback form if you have any feedback. Bye. I'll just play some music while I wait to see if anybody has any questions. Yay, thank you. Bye. Have fun. Oh, This is our background music for our stream. It's called Feeding the Ducks. This is like my outro background music that I play when I'm waiting for people to ask questions. I think I'm talking too much. I'm losing my voice. But it is 5 o'clock, so I'm gonna head on out. Please join Cecilia and Ira's mini event stream after this if y'all are interested in playing Type Racer with them. But thank y'all so much for joining. Really appreciate your time. Bye. Have a good day. Have a good night wherever you are in the world. Bye.